705 compared to 728. That's quite the gap, even with the spin out. Looking over the comms broken. Wait, whoa. 30 seconds faster with no comms.
Right hand on the Bible. God can strike me down if I'm lying.
Lovely driver.
Cheating!
Hello everyone, CD Racing here, and welcome back for episode 15 of our Dirt Rally 2 career mode playthrough. Now, here in today's episode, tackling a very important rally for our career. We are leading the third season of our championship quite handedly, and we need to do everything that we can to ensure that advantage and push on to when the game really starts to immerse you in rally. Up until this point, the rallies have been short, minimal stages, not that much endurance aspect to it, but one more season and things are going to get crazy. And we've done well for the most part. A couple bit of sketchy moments our first time in the rear wheel drive, at least on the channel, and we got to prepare for that. So going over our current staffing, we've got 3 engineers, 1 chief, 2 underlings, and a co-driver, of course. And I think it's about time we hire ourselves a 3rd engineer. A lot of these repair times are taking a very long time, and just that one extra set of hands really does make a huge difference, and you'll see that as soon as we're out this weekend. But we're not just going to hire some rookie. We're actually going to invest in the future. You might be wondering why we're upgrading 4-wheel drive knowledge when we're driving a rear-wheel drive car. Think about it. Next season, things are going to get wild. We're going to drive some much faster cars, and we want to be prepared. So our engineer right now that we just hired, more of an investment than an immediate payoff. But for now, let's go to Wales. All right, so loading in for the first stage here. Last time we were out in Wales, things were eventful. Look at this. That's murder. So hopefully things go a little bit better this time around as we get a look at the rather scenic Wales rally. Another one that's deceivingly flat. The elevation changes will tell you that this rally doesn't have much going on for it, but very similar to last weekend or last rally, very sudden changes are the name of the game here. As you look over the stages on screen here, you'll notice elevation changes significantly smaller than what we're used to, usually around the 200 to 100 foot range over the course of the entire stage. Like I've said, deceivingly flat, but you'll notice very quickly there's a lot of large jumps, or the main staple of Wales, as I like to call it, forest sections, where you will encounter very rapid changing of elevation through an S's section. And in that rear-wheel drive car, that is going to catch us out a couple times. I'm not going to act like we're going to go through this easy breezy, no problems, but we are going to tackle the shakedown real quick just so we can truly get a sense of what Wales has to offer. And looking now on the shakedown, if you guys have never seen me do the shakedown before, this is something that happens in real rallying as well. It's basically just a little test run of the stage, test your car, do any suspension, tuning changes you want to while you're there. But for now, we're just getting a feel for the rally in the car this weekend. The rear-wheel drive Datsun, definitely a crazier one to pilot, as you see holding a massive angle into this corner right there. Looks cool, but not ideal. And these are one of the reasons why the shakedowns are so important. You get a feel for the ground underneath your car, what you're going to be running on as the weekend goes on. And this might be a nicer stage, what we're used to. The shakedown doesn't happen, midway through the rally. So what we're driving on right now is a little bit nicer than the stage we're actually going to get access to after, 50 some odd cars have hauled ass over it. But the main feel is what we're going for here. Much like a practice session in Formula 1, you're just getting the taste for it. As you can tell, I'm not going anywhere near 100% pace here. Just getting used to how the car feels over the weekend. And as we come up with a stop here, just wrap it up real quick. I love that they add the animation of my character being upset as I cross the line, throwing his hand up like he's mad. There's no timing. I don't know why they did that, but I do think it's hilarious. And I also think no real changes have to be made to the car at this time. Making sure that we've got the medium tires locked on as we go in. But for now, I will see y'all at the end of the first stage, and no commentary, of course.
Starts 50, 6 right of a crest, very long, tightens into 4 left of a crest. Good luck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 50, 6 right of a crest, very long, tightens into 4 left of a crest, into 3 right of a crest, into don't cut, 2 left, tightens long, opens of a crest, 80 over crest, 6 left, 30, 6 left of a crest, very long, tightens 4, into 5 right, into 5 left long, opens of a crest, 80. Crest into 3 left long, tightens. Into cut, 4 right of a crest, 130 of a crest. Cut, 4 right of a crest, 50. Crest into 3 left, tightens of a dip. Into 4 right, opens of a crest, into 4 left, tightens. Opens flat of a crest, 80. 5 left, to keep right of a 30, crest into 4 left. Into 5 right of a crest. Into 6 left, opens middle of a jump, 50. 6 right, middle of a crest and double jump, 100. Don't cut, 6 right, 60. 4 right, opens of a crest. Into 5 left, opens of a crest, 60. Crest, into don't cut, 3 left. Opens flat, middle of a crest. Into 6 right, 50. 6 left, opens of a crest into 5 right, slow 80, 6 right of a crest, 60, turn unseen hairpin left. Opens uphill, 100. 6 left long of a crest, and 6 right extra long, tightens 3 at posts. Opens 40. Keep left of a double crest, into 6 right of a crest, very long, tightens slow 4, opens of a crest, into turn unseen hairpin right. 60. 4 left, opens of a crest, tightens 2, tightens. 30. 5 left, long, opens 140. Long crest, into 4 right, 50, 4 left, open 70, early 4 left, 100, 6 left of a crest, past logs, 60, 5 right, opens of a crest, 30, cut, 4 right of a crest, 30, 4 right of a crest, slow 5 left downhill, into hairpin right. Into 5 left long, tightens 3 of a dip, opens long of a crest. 100. 5 left of a crest, jump. Slow 50, unseen, open hairpin right. 50. 5 left of a crest, 40. 5 left of a jump, opens 50. 3 left, opens 70. Keep right of a crest, and 4 left long, don't cut logs. Slow 80, crest and unseen, open hairpin right. 80, over long crest, into 4 left through gate. 60. Slow 4 left long, tightens 3, into 1 right tightens. 80 through gate, 4 right of a crest, tightens 3. 150 over dip, 5 left of a crest long. 70, 6 right of a crest and jump. 100 over jumps, 5 left, opens of a crest long, tightens slow crest, open hairpin right. Opens, and 5 right of a crest. 30, 4 right of a crest, jump, opens 100. Flat crest, 100, bump into middle of a big jump, 40 downhill. 4 right long, tightens of a crest. 70, 6 left tightens, into 3 left long, through posts, tightens 2. Long of a crest, 80. 4 right of a crest long, opens 80. 3 right of a crest, tightens, don't cut, 4 left. 100. 2 left long, tightens. Into 2 right of a crest. 50. camber into 2 left tightens, 70. Flat crest, 100. Keep right of a crest, jump, 50. Keep middle of a crest, slow, 150. Into 2 right tightens. Opens 6 right and 5 left long. Tightens of a crest. Keep right of a crest into don't cut 2 left. And 4 left. Into 5 right. Into 6 left of a crest. And 6 left of a crest bump, tightness 5, downhill, 80, 5 left, 100, 6 right and 5 left of a crest, 30, 6 right, 100, keep middle of a crest, jump, into 5 left, 80, flat crest long, 100, caution, unseen, 4 right of a crest, into 6 left long, opens 100, 6 left, opens 120, keep middle of a crest 40, 3 left tightens, into 6 right, opens of a crest long, tightness 5, tightens, into 4 left, into 5 right of a crest, 80, 6 left of a dip, into 5 right bumps long, opens of a crest, over finish, 80, to stop. Well done.
All right, so quite the introduction to Wales, at least as far as the Datsun goes, and unfortunately not as ideal as we wanted it to be, given that we wanted a little bit of redemption from the last time we were here in the Opal, but, you know, a little bit of a rollover mid-stage, cars looking a little rough. Overall, just an incident, nothing major, but we are now down in the rally. Jacob Meyer setting himself quite the opening stage here in the rally, and going into stage 2, we already have a slight disadvantage, but we'll see how we tackle it going forward. So, stage 2, Sweet Lamb, a little over 6 miles. Hopefully it is sweet to us indeed. We do not need another rollover accident to further harm our chances this weekend, but first stage with the commentary, and you're going to see exactly what I was talking about with these undulating S's sections. You know, like that wordplay there and how I messed it up at the end there. I try to act fancy and I fumble the bag every time. But going into the stage where we lock in, launching period, you can see wet terrain. That was not something that I prepared for. I should have looked at that when we were looking over the weekend, but I did not. So now, worn mediums, wet surface, rear-wheel drive car from the 80s. What could possibly go wrong? To answer that question for you, many things. Now, I'm not going to tell you if anything goes wrong this stage because I'm not boring like that. But if you look over now, you immediately get a picture of the S sections that I was talking about. Lots of temperature changes, subtle elevation as we again drift a little bit wide there, tap that wall on the inside there on the left. But moving forward, opening up here, a 6 right opens into 2 rights, don't cut. Watching that don't cut. We're going to swing the car in because we need that angle, but watch that inside line and then power out as soon as we can. And again, before I got interrupted by us kind of crashing, look at these sections. Rapid elevation changes over changing directions. Lots of blind crests here. You see 5 left, tightens 3. Keep right over, jump into 3 left long. And you've got all kinds of calls coming at you as you're driving. It's trying to keep this track on the road, or car on the road, that is. It's a hassle. I know, especially for those of y'all that watch the advanced techniques video, you know most of the movement on the vehicle ideally should be done with your feet, and wheel movements should be somewhat minimal. However, in a rear-wheel drive car like this in wet conditions, especially on this particular section, I am fighting this car. We are driving as fast as we possibly can, but realistically, we're battling the car more than the time. We're just going to get this thing going as fast as we can. And again, rapid temperature. Wow, I am all out of the stage. Drone of the stage. What is going on? I'm mistaking direction for temperature. There's drones in the middle of the stage. Nobody knows what's happening, but what we know is we're losing. If you look at the left-hand side of your screen there, we are currently losing to the stage leader. And it shows. Mentally, I was not prepared for a wet stage at all. And from the footage you're looking at, you might not think it's that bad. Over the course of the first stage, I was getting used to Wales. This was a stage where I'm supposed to really find my groove, but now it's wet. I've lost quite a bit of confidence in the car. If you really listen to the audio of the car, if I stop talking for a couple seconds, you'll hear me lifting quite a bit. Like right here,
into 4 left, opens of a crest.
lots of lift there, very hesitant to get back on the power because of the wet conditions, especially over a crest like that. If your rear wheels lose contact with the surface for just a second, your revs are going to spike, and when they land back down on the ground, you're going to have a lot more power going through the car, and that's how you lose it. You see it happen all the time, especially to those who are inexperienced or are looking for that. Now, luckily, I am slightly more experienced than that. I won't get caught lacking by something that simple, but as you can see from the cracks in the windshield, we are not immune to mistakes, and we're going to keep it going as we do right here. 3 left long, opens over crest, bad camber. That bad camber line is the main reason why I approached that corner as I did. Bad camber basically means the corner is angled away from the direction of the turn. So that left turn, the track actually turns away from where you're turning from. So you see me stick the right-hand side, slowly work our way across, especially in wet conditions. The car literally could have just slid off the track, but it did not because we prepared. If I could give you one key piece of advice in rally, you're either prepared or you're an idiot. And going into this stage, I was not prepared, and the left-hand side shows exactly what happens to idiots. We are losing quite a bit of time fighting with the rear end of the car way more than I have to. Probably should have brought hard tires specifically for the situation because they would have been in better condition. You know, these mediums are slightly worn. Going into a stage like this, we're fighting the car pretty hard. Currently down in 4th place in the timing, 7 seconds down from the leader. We're just going to go ahead and fight this thing to the best of our ability. 4 left, tightens over crest, 880. So watch your entry here. Flick it him, you know it tightens. And then you got 5 left into 2 right long, tightens. So stick to the left-hand side of the track. Flick the car in early. You know it's going to tighten. Find your angle as soon as possible. Still trying to find it. And then power out as early as you can. And that's the thing that you're working with when it's raining in a rear-wheel drive car. Not only are you trying to process the calls as you come in, but you're fighting it so much. 4 left long, tightens over crest, into 2 right over crest long. So again, rapid direction changes over S's. You got an S right here. You would not have seen that right turn coming over the crest. Now, obviously, the co-driver's there for a reason, but you can only prepare so much. Left-hand side of the screen, once again, all red. We are, and even making it worse, finding our angle into this corner, sent it in a little too hard, didn't have the grip to catch it back because of the wet conditions, and we lose even more time there. 6 left long, tightens, 3 tightens, so it tightens into a different kind of corner and then tightens once again. Quite the call to keep up with there, but if you look at it on screen, it really just looks like a pretty basic corner there, and it was. But if we hadn't been prepared for that, we probably would have sent it off the stage just like that, flicking the car at there. You can see that we lost it very quickly. And now in these low-speed sections, we're just fighting the car so hard. Now, this was a prime example of how to not approach a stage, both in preparation and in technique. We are fighting this car so hard right now. Still haven't even really gotten control of the car, and we're going into a hairpin. Sending it hard there, quite a bit of angle, catch the car, and then power out as early as you can. There might be a little bit of driving angry going on here. I'm not going to deny that. I was a little upset losing it, and this is what happens when you drive angry. I wasn't even registering the calls. This was a hairpin, and I came into it in 2nd gear just hoping that I could throw it in, and I did not. Losing even more time than necessary from the minor spin out, and we're going to see now as we cross the section just how bad the timing is now. As you can, Jacob Meyer has just checked out from us, and that is going to be a theme over the course of the entire weekend. Finally, a decent sense of catching the car in a closing down section as we send it there and then power over. But we are now almost 22 seconds behind the stage leader, and we haven't even had a major shunt. Just a spin out and slow pace, and we are now down almost half a minute from the stage leader, and that's how quickly rally can catch you out. Wales specifically. I'm sure I'll say it many more times over the course of this video, but I'll say it now plainly. I do not like Wales. I do not like the location, mainly in Dirt Rally 2. Obviously, it's a great rally. It's on the calendar for a reason as we continue to fight the car over these sections. But specifically in Dirt Rally 2, I just don't like this location. I'm bad at it. The stages make no sense to me sometimes. And if I wanted to give myself somewhat of an excuse, this is a DLC location. And I feel that the rally calls were put together very haphazardly because I feel there are a lot of calls in this specific location that are just either blatantly wrong, or no matter how much you turn up the timing, come way too late. And if I find any examples over the course of the weekend, I will give that so you don't think I'm just yapping and griping. But as we go into the water splash section and catch our left-hand tire on that edge there, hopefully not any major wheel geometry damage done there, but we did flip the car, so that's probably asking too much. Coming to the end of this stage here, we have a little bit of a cool section. As I was just talking about how Wales is not my favorite, this section right here is pretty cool. It gives special stage vibes. We're basically what looks like in a construction zone going through here, catching some air, back-to-back little mini jumps, just trying to hold our angle as we land there into the water splash through a river, powering over the gate out like that. That is a very cool section. I will talk mess about Wales all day long. That section right there is very cool visually and to ride. And as we cross the finish here, let's see how bad the damage is. 22.5 seconds to the stage leader, but that's still 3 seconds faster than S. Bernard. So Jacob Meyer must have just been bossing this stage, because we were actually best of the rest besides Jacob Meyer. He must have really caught one here. He was moving.
That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal with me.
And looking at the times, you really can visualize how much further it was. He had 7:05 compared to 7:28. That's quite the gap, even with the spin out. Looking over the comms broken. Wait, whoa. 30 seconds faster with no comms.
Right hand on the Bible. God can strike me down if I'm lying.
Lovely driver.
Cheating!
But all jokes aside, how? How does that happen? Maybe I'm just washed. Maybe I will never reach the stage where I can drive a rally stage faster than anyone else with no comms. Maybe that's just me. And as we load into the first service station, mentally preparing ourselves to go up against the evident Rally Jesus, we've got some decent damage to the car from the rollover in the first stage. Radiator is the most concerning at the moment. An overheating engine is a dead engine, so we're going to fix that up as soon as possible. Dampers are important, wheel geometry is important, and bodywork is important. And we've got all of these done with time to spare. So, very happy that we purchased a new engineer. I say purchased, I should not say that. Hired a new engineer. And now going into the second stint of the rally, a little bit shorter this time around. Gonna opt for the soft tires because you'll see here in a second on screen, the mediums held up quite well over 2 relatively longer stages. So the softs, hopefully, going to give us an advantage we need to fight back.
Starts in 6 left over crest, long 40, 6 right over dip, 80. Good luck.
All right, so stage 3, current stage leader Jay Norberg, I believe is how you say that name. It doesn't matter. We're going to beat him anyways, right? Lights go up, dump the clutch. Early goings here. This is going to be a very rapid stage. You saw consecutive 6s into a dip, into 80, into 6 left long over crest, into 5 right over crest. So very, very high-speed section early goings here. 5 left long. Prepare for that to the best of our ability. That wall on the outside means we're not going to take that as quick as we could. And again, just keeping the car on the stage as well as you can here. 120 into 6 right over dip, into 4 left over crest. So that dip is going to make us brake a little bit easier. Hard on the brake, send the car in, catch a little bit of the middle stage there. If we had cut that maybe 2 milliseconds later, that would have been an insane transition. But a little bit of an early transfer there, catches some minor damage to the bottom of the car. We're going to keep it rocking here though. 6 left into 6 right, into 5 left over dip. Already up 2 seconds from the rest of the pack. So we are proving ourselves in the high-speed sections once again, but we're going to see if we can actually maintain that pace over the course of the stage, because we have another somewhat long here. We're going to see how we tackle it. About a minute in, 4 right Titans 2, past logs. So watch your speed here. I heard 4 right Titans 2 and did not hear a distance call, so I separated myself, straightened the car out, and then had to throw it in again. A little bit of an error on my thing, but that's another moment where I talked about with the calls in Wales. There definitely could have been like 4 left 30 into 2 right, or something like that. But I digress. We made it work anyways, and now as we continue along the stage, we've got 160 over bumps into 6 right over crest bumps. So high speeds, a lot of bumps coming at us right now. We'll see how we tackle it. Going through these posts can also be a little mentally jarring. You know you're not going to hit them, but you can, and you're thinking that as you drive past them. We got a 2 right here. Again, lack of a distance call means we braked way earlier than we had to, and I'm going to mention that every time I see it, because I really do feel that Wales might have been a location that was a bit rushed by the developers, because some of these calls make no sense to me. But as we continue along, doing okay. A little bit of a noise coming from the car, if you can hear that.
60.
Yeah, if you can hear that,
Crest and four
obvious
right,
something
very
is
long,
not
tightens two,
ideal in the engine bay.
posts,
I don't think this game has a
opens,
mechanic where something can get
90.
stuck in the car or anything, so something is wrong
Crest
with our
and
engine.
five
But
left,
at the moment,
don't
driving
cut.
the car, power felt
jump,
fine, vehicle
60,
felt fine, so it might just be an
flat
issue that
middle
shows
of a
itself
big
when something
jump,
finally
the
breaks. But
bump,
for now,
keep right over
fighting
100
over these
of a
high-speed
crest,
sections, we've got a bump into 60 and a bump jump 60 into 4 left. It's just a lot coming at you, and we're managing it okay at the moment. Titan slow 1. So we're going to watch how this goes. And again, 4 left, Titan slow 1. There was a straight line there before we got to the 1 left. I don't understand the thought process behind some of these calls. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like there's so much time being left on the board because of a distance call that would have let me know, hey, you can straighten out. There's a little bit of a gap before that 1 left, you know what I mean? 5 right into dip into 1, or into dip 150, 3 left long, don't cut. Through post, so heavy braking here. Do not want to mess around with these posts. Is exactly what we're going to do. Make sure that we can hit that. 2 left cut. We are not going to cut this because I saw a fence on the inside, but we are going to swing and then really catch it just like that and then power out accordingly. 5 right long into dip, into jump, slow 50 open hairpin left. So you've got the dump, you've got the dip, you've got the jump, we've got the 50, and we slow down for the hairpin left. See, when you give me the calls, we maintain speed. And if you look at the left-hand side of the screen for the first time this stage, we are up for what might be the first time this weekend. We have a pretty solid advantage. You'll see just exactly as across the sector. There we go, 13-second advantage to second place on the stage at the moment. Now, Jacob Meyer is ahead of us. He has a chance to beat us, and if he continues his apparently godlike pace, this is all for nothing. But we are doing quite well at the moment as we got another tight section into the forest here. 40, we're going to see how this opens up for us. 5 right into jump, 40 again. Into 4 right, very long. Tightens 3 over dip. So now that we're in the forest section again, it's almost synonymous. Oh, as we drift out a little wide. Luckily did not drop both wheels over the edge of the stage there. That would have been significantly worse. We're going to try and catch it again. But back to being a broken record, these forest sections, rapid changes in elevation. Just because it's not hundreds of feet at a time doesn't mean you're not feeling it in the car. And the bottom is dropping out from us a lot over the course of the stage. So we're fighting with the wheel quite a bit. Back into the high-speed open sections here. 4 right, open 60. So send it in aggressive. You know it opens, so you just keep it pinned on the exit just like that. A little bit of an example of when the calls are right, the car does quite well. 3 right tightens 2 long, so hard on the brakes. Watch your entrance here. And now it tightens into the 2. And once again, could have been a distance call there. It said 3 right long, but that was pretty long. We've got an unseen open hairpin left, slow the car down, throw it in, find an angle, power out accordingly. Actually a little shallow there. Could have waited probably half a second more to just throw that car in there, but we made out of it okay. And if you notice on these longer stages, if you really pay attention to these runs, towards the end, and especially in the next stage that we're going to watch, you can see the tire degradation in real time. Now, it's not like traditional tire deg and things like Formula 1, where you just get a little slower lap times. In rally, when you're losing depth in the tire, you're losing the grooves that the tire uses to throw these rocks and clear all this dirt out of the way. And as the tires get worn down, the depth of the grooves shrinks over time, and it's essentially like trying to drive in the pouring rain in slick tires. You've got just surface area, nothing to clear dirt and rocks out of the way, and your ability to control the car becomes much harder, which, when you're driving a vehicle like this, is not ideal. Now watch the sequence right here as we come over here. Listen and watch the calls that are coming in and see what happens right about here.
Yep, I'm flying through the air. This is not good.
That is a absolutely massive shunt midway through the stage. Now, because this is a video game and none of the impact occurred to the front of the car is actually fine. Driving away like nothing happened there, like we didn't just catch 13 feet of air in an 80s Japanese sports car. We're still vibing, up 21 seconds from the current stage leader. We're just going to act like that never happened. Now, when we get back to the service station, we will find out very quickly that did in fact happen, and it's going to cost our wallets quite a pretty penny. But for now, besides that little incident, this was actually quite the stage from us. As you can see, our pace compared to everyone else was much higher. As we fall off the stage and get instantaneously teleported back onto the stage with only a 7-second penalty. Honestly, if the game wanted to be more punishing, Let me try to get back on the stage myself, and I promise you that 7 seconds would have turned to 70. Did you see the size of the cliff that I fell off of? That was not happening. But blessing in disguise, getting teleported back onto the stage. A 7-second penalty is something we will definitely take, and as we cross the finish of the stage, still up 13 seconds. Oh my god. Right at the end, it seems that we forget how to drive vehicles at all. Massive damage at the end of the stage there. That last sector was definitely not something to write home about. Did we even win, or did Jacob Meyer come back and disappoint us once again? Oh my god. Oh my god. And if we didn't get the penalty, we would have beat him. I'm done. Just kidding. I'm not done. I'm motivated to learn from my mistakes, and I'm going to go ahead and rewind so y'all can just get a third-person perspective of how wild that was. The fact that this car right here, damn, that's a thumbnail and a half right there. We're definitely going to use that. But really, look at the angle of this car. That is ridiculous that we survived this with minimal damage. But loading in stage 4 of an already eventful weekend. We got a little sprint. Less than 3 miles means we get to send it, because time differences here are always going to be very minute. We have a car that's a little sore. Let's see if we can put together a stage and finally beat Mr. Jacob Meyer, because this weekend, that is our ultimate goal. So, going forward to the sprint here, we have done this section of stage 4 on the longer variant, so we know what we're doing here. You're going to see me go with a very aggressive send into this section, because we know it's going to tighten up, forward left, tighten square left, yank the handbrake, get yourself turned in there, power out as soon as you can, into 60, into 2 left tighten. So again, 2 left, very small number, we know it tightens, so we're going to lose a lot of speed, find our angle, and power out accordingly. Now at this stage of the rally, we've had a couple sketchy moments, you could say. Ideally, this is the time, if we're being realistic about this, to take things a little easy, you know, make sure the car gets back to the service station in one piece. We are not going to do that. We are going to send it. We have taken Jacob Meyer's god-like form very personally, and we're not going to take it lying down. So, going into a stage that we've done before in a car that we have, at least at this point, gotten very used to, despite, you know, what happened last stage. When we get this thing moving, we get it moving. As you can see right now, 5-second gap over the current stage leader in just the first sector, so we are moving. Taking this personally, 30 into 4 left long, keep right over 30. Let's see if we follow those instructions. Here's that 30, keeping more middle than right. You see me have to adjust to avoid that wall on the inside left side. That's why every single call can make the tiniest difference into your ability to maintain momentum. It's not about just, you know, sending it through one corner and then having to adjust. You want to maintain as much momentum as possible over the course of the entire stage, and those tiny little adjustments, that half a second of self-doubt, or, oh man, am I going to hit that wall? Those add up over the course of a 3-mile stage, and that's not even a long one. So going through sections like this, you know, crazy little SS sections, losing time. The gap actually falling to right over 5 seconds. I think it's like 5 3/1000 of a second as opposed to 5.1. So, not the greatest fall off, but a fall off nonetheless. And you could attribute that wholeheartedly to me having to lift to avoid that wall, because I didn't listen to the keep right call. And all of those things stack up over the course of the stage. Like this run right here, 5 left, keep right over 4, and there's a broken down car. Poor guy is having an absolutely horrible weekend. To blow an engine in a rally, that's what we're all scared of. But you know, at the end of the day, you can't park there, and we got a rally to win. We're gonna see if we improved over the course of the 3rd sector, and we did. The gap is now 6.4 to the current stage leader, and I unfortunately have to say current because Jacob Meyer has not done his run at this time. Going into the hairpin, lots of time to be made here. Send it in early, catch the car, and a little bit too big of a send. Could not catch the rotation, and we are losing time there. If you look on the left-hand side, you'll probably see that black square just slowly start moving towards us. But as we go through the off-camber section we talked about last time, again, you want to be careful with your send there. And one more time, too aggressive of a send in these low-speed scenarios, costing us so much time. I would not be surprised to see the gap shrink significantly as we cross the line here. And those are the things that I'm talking about. I know I sound like a broken record sometimes, you know, every call count, every corners count, but it does. You mess it up one time, and that's the 1 second that separates you from winning the stage or even the rally. It's a very demanding sport, but if you want to get better, you got to take those little mistakes in the chin. If you go through a stage perfectly, you are a god, because it usually does not happen. And as we cross the line, Still 6.7 seconds as we win, so probably nailing it in that last sector there, mitigating those low-speed mistakes. But did we beat Jacob Meyer? We can beat everyone else.
Really well in there. Could be a stage win.
Could be a stage win. Hold on now, hold on. Of course it takes forever. Oh, yeah! That's what I'm talking about. That's redemption right there. That's what it means to fight back and be the best. Barely 2-second win over the third easiest AI in the game. That's what we love to see right there. Now, are we still losing the rally by a little over a minute? Yes. Are we going to do something about it? Absolutely. Stage 5, 3.54 miles. Nothing majorly interesting happens over the course of this stage or the next one, believe it or not. So we're actually going to skip this entire next stint. I will show y'all the times at the end so you can kind of stay track with the story. But besides that, nothing to know. I'll see you at the end.
Looking good for a stage win in there.
Yes, so end of stage 5, another stage win. Strong form did continue over the second stage, and as you can see, a significantly larger margin of victory, around 8 seconds victory that time. And coming to the end of stage 6...
we might have won that stage.
That's right. We kept it going for the three-peat. 3 stage wins in a row, and if you look at the margin of victory for this one, once again, significantly larger. Double-digit victory margins now taking place. Now, some of these little things, wheel wobbling, minor body damage, we didn't get into anything super crazy. If we did, I would have kept it in the video, trust me. But clutch slipping is one that we want to take note of. As we look over right there, the gap is now just around 10 seconds. And that is quite the swing over the course of the last 3 stages. And what looked like a rally that Jacob Meyer was just going to run away with, we have clawed back towards the latter stages. Going into the last 2 stages, both of them relatively short. We know the gap that we need to bring down. We do have a little bit of damage that we're going to address right now. I did mention that clutch slipping issue. That is a big deal. We have to shift this thing quite a bit, and yeah, this clutch is worn out. Luckily, the standard fix and the replacement not taking too long, but we're going to go ahead and opt for the standard fix, even though I left it unreplaced right now. It makes no sense financially to replace it. It takes too much time. Might as well just do the stable fix. Quick fix, never worth it, in my opinion. If you're playing Dirt Rally 2 for the first time, or you just didn't know this, never do the quick fix. It's not worth it. But we now have 2 relatively short stages to make up 10 seconds. We know it's possible, but Jacob Meyer has been on an absolute banger over the course of this rally event. So we know what we have to do. We know we have to lock in. 10 seconds, 2 stages. And we pull off the comeback to make it 4 straight. Let's find out right now.
Starts 30, middle of a crest 30. Good luck.
All right, so a short list of calls, but a tall order ahead of us, as we know. Currently still behind Jacob Meyer. We do not know his times going into these stages, so the only thing that we can do is drive them as quickly as possible and hope for the best. Now, we are lucky enough to basically be in a new car here. Brand new soft tires, no damage because we had plenty of time in the service station. And now we just attack. Tight forest section ahead of us. We've got a 2 right, or 2 left into 3 right, into 4 left long. We've got a bunch of things in front of us. 3 right over crest long. And going back to what I was talking about in the early stages of these videos, watch these forest sections again. Rapid elevation changes over a series of S's. And watch how the rear end is never really completely behind us in a straight line. Maybe in situations like this where the straight line is ahead of us, but even then we're still fighting the rear. And then on off-camber sections like this, forget about it. We are fighting the rear wheels the entire time. The way that rear-wheel drive cars were described to me one time that makes the most sense to people that have driven them, the rear wheels are always trying to overtake the front wheels. And sometimes they win. Right here, did not flick it hard enough, and as soon as I give it power, you see the rear end kick out just like that. And when you get used to how to tame the power given that leads to what angle, or just how it manipulates the car with throttle control, there's rear-wheel drive cars that make them very, very fun to drive. However, they will catch you out very quickly. Sections like this, you know, high speed, a little bit of a, again, with rapid temperature, I keep wanting to say temperature, rapid elevation changes. The second those rear wheels are off the gravel, you have zero control. But the second they touch down again, you have all of the control again. You see in situations like this, you'll hear me let off the gas completely as I go over these crests, because if you land with the revs all the way at the top, you're gonna have a lot of power going through those rear wheels. And if you land with more power than you expect, you can wipe out as soon as you hit the floor, or swing really hard hard one way and then try to catch it the other way, almost like what happened right there. Managed to just kind of not too badly overreact, catch it as we went over that crest that was a little sketchy. And for those of you that didn't even notice that I was talking about, again, the wheel movements in the car. I am in a rear-wheel drive car at an unpredictable stage, so the wheel isn't going to be as stable as it could be, but I try to keep movements as minimal as possible. You'll see the angle of the initial turn in, and then adjustments through mid-corner. Right here, flick it in, adjustment, straighten out as soon as possible. You see right here, we've got that 2 right coming in. Find your angle, counter, and steer out as soon as possible. When you get used to that rhythm in these rear-wheel drive cars, 7-second gap is a perfect way to say, once you get used to that rhythm, you know, find your turn in angle, hold it, and power out as soon as possible. When you finally get used to that and can do it consistently in a rear-wheel drive rally car, you will maintain incredible pace. I don't do it in this video, but I have done it in previous ones, and I can make a note to do it in future events. I will show my times compared to the Group B cars, the up to 2000s, you know, the Group A's, these notoriously fast all-wheel drive rally cars. If you find your pace and, you know, also drive with some iron nuts, you can make these rear-wheel drive cars incredibly quick, and I think this particular stage is a great example of that. This is by no means world record pace, but it's still rapid, and we're going to come to the end here with quite the advantage over the stage winner. But did we beat the person that we need to? 11-second victory, almost 12, 11.8 as we cross the finish line. Is that enough to put Jacob Meyer in his place? In a perfect world, that's all we need, right? We beat him on that stage and we win. That'd be great.
Could be a stage win.
Could be a stage win, said from the co-driver. Did we actually, though? That's a victory. That's huge. That's a 10-second victory. We might have just won the rally. And damn, no notes for anyone, and we're up by 0.5 seconds. This changes everything. I thought the next stage we'd still have to fight back a little bit, but now we know our pace when we put things together. See, I wasn't bragging for no reason towards the end of that stage. I knew I was moving, I knew what was happening, and now we have about 3.5 miles to hold our half-a-second advantage and claim our 4th in a row. I know we can do it. Let's put the money where the mouth is, or something like that. I'm a better driver than I am a speaker. Let's see what happens. As the lights go up, so do the revs. Hold them. Again, launching at softer revs, 4,000 seems to be the sweet spot in some of these dirt stages. You got a lot of oomph off the line, but I know we're not smashing the transmission as hard as we could be. And early going to the stage here, I'm being rather timid. I know my pace when I'm going 100% is rapid and very, very capable of beating this AI. But now that I know the lead is in my hands and we're winning the rally, I can watch that little thing on the left-hand side of my screen and know exactly where the stage leader is going to be, because I know as long as I win the stage, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. I can take this as fast as I need to, which is a luxury that I have afforded myself over the last 4 stages, proving that we can bring the pace up when we need to. So now we are in a perfect position to watch that left-hand monitor, know exactly if we're going too fast, and at the moment, a pace that is very, very holdable for us is absolutely destroying the competition at the moment. As we go to a little bit rarer open section of Wales, we got a little bit of a high-speed maneuver going in front of us at sunset. Incredibly scenic. My PC specs aren't even the greatest, but I am blessed to be running this game at Ultra, and man, does it look good. That sunset scene going over the Wales rally location, if I wasn't scared of crashing into a tree in an 80s shitbox, I would stop and take a picture, but we've got a rally to win. Unseen hairpin left coming at the end of an 80 call, so I slammed the brakes, and you can tell, definitely misjudged that 80 call, but I entered that as clean as I could have. Lucky to get the angle and power out somewhat like usual, but probably about 2-3 tenths lost over the course of that hairpin. That might sound something weird to gripe about over the course of a rally stage, but hey, we're leading this rally by 0.5 seconds. Every margin counts. 6 right long, slow 60 downhill, turn open hairpin right. So when you hear turn 60 slow downhill, it's many different signs to tell you don't be brave into this next corner. When you enter it like that, you get a little bit of good rotation turn in. A little shallow. I think we brushed something on the front end, but definitely nothing to bring damage to us. But when you hear slow or caution, trust the co-driver. It does not matter what you think you see, you need to slow the car down, because situations like this, those rapid closing down sections where you have so much momentum and then you just have to hard on the brakes for a couple seconds and throw a car into a turn, it gets sketchy, and every second matters. And again, listening to calls, keep left over 40, 6 right, into 5 left. Y'all heard keep left, right? Y'all heard keep left? That's why you keep left. I hit the right-hand side of the stage, barrel rolled the car, and you might be thinking, dude, he told you to stay left. Why would you go so far to the right? Because that's where we got launched into the stratosphere last stage, and I didn't feel like letting it happen again. Very, very, very lucky to not come away with a rally-ending crash there, but instead we are now 10 seconds ahead of competition. So maybe the secret to rally is just rolling your car. Colin McRae figured this out years ago, and no one else has had the gonads to recreate it, except for me. And now we might just win the rally because of it. Just kidding. I've had great pace this entire stage, but coming towards the end here. All jokes aside, don't do that, please. You want to barrel roll your car as infrequently as possible, as fun as it sounds. But coming to the end here, we are not going to be making any more mistakes. 4 right into 1, opens, then tightens, slow the car down, throw it in. We don't need to do anything stupid at this point. We've already barrel rolled once to check our reality. But coming across the finish line here, we need to staple in a rally win here, just in case any funny business happens. So 6 left over, jump 40 over, finish, jump the car, land it, wrap out that last gear, and that is a 15-second victory when it mattered most. If we needed to put the nail in the coffin, we brought the whole pack, and we were ready to lay it down to make it 4 victories in a row.
Fantastic.
And co-driver said, that's it, championship win. Tell me if it's been too long since I had to do basic level math. But if you look at the championship standings, we are only winning by 27 points, and a rally victory gets you 30 points. And there are still 2 rally weekends left on the board, meaning a potential 60-point swing still exists. So why my co-driver is just straight up gaslighting me and telling me that we have won the championship is beyond me. But what really matters is the cash and the clout. That is 4 victories back to back to back to back, and we're going to hope to keep it going. And in my opinion, significantly easier rally location, Perth and Kinross, Scotland. There's that quick recap over the championship once again. And yes, we have not won this mathematically at all. I don't know how we got there. If we win the next one, honestly, I haven't done the exact math, but I think even if we get like 4th in the next one, we have blocked out this championship. I'm so excited to get into an even faster car. Driving this Datsun has been an absolute blast. Rear-wheel drive is something I'm a lot more comfortable with now. Yeah, words are fun. Then you know what else is fun? Editing these videos for you guys. If you guys have made it all the way to the end of this video, I really appreciate you guys for stopping by and watching the entire thing. You guys are the OGs. In fact, you know what? If you made it this far, go ahead and comment down below, I like driving fast, or something along those lines. I'll get a better catchphrase later. But for real, thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's been an absolute blast editing these. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to heel toe that like and subscribe combo, and I will catch you in the next one.